Since my last video on my 306 V8 Ranger, I got a couple of emails on the walk around video, a couple of questions, and I thought I would go ahead and do a quick video mainly on the paint today, and try and answer some of those questions I got regarding how did I paint it, where did I paint it, how long did it take, so on and so forth. But anyway, this is my window sticker. It's 2011 Sport regular cab Ranger, 112-inch wheelbase, flare side, 5-liter high output V8 engine, 5-speed manual overdrive transmission. Tuxedo black metallic, charcoal black leather interior, and let's take a look at some of the options. Oh, by the way, 2011, it's really a 99, made to look like a 2011. Here we go, optional equipment. Got the Performance Equipment Package 306R. It's a 5-liter high output GT40P engine, Tremec World Class T5 5-speed, 355 rear gears, traction lock differential, and 31 spline Moser axles. It's got SVT chrome 5-spoke 17-inch wheels from an 04 Cobra, and 13-inch front SVT Cobra brakes and 11.65 rear vented Cobra disc brakes. It's got a leather-wrapped sport steering wheel and sport leather heated bucket seats, tuned stainless steel exhaust with X-pipe, and some odometer gauges. And I thought you guys might kind of like that window sticker I put together a while back. Anyway, let's get on with the rest of the video. Had a pretty nice day today. The sun's shining, so might be able to get a little bit of the metallic in there as we walk around real quick. Hopefully. Everybody that sees it in the videos kind of thinks it's just black, and it does have quite a bit of metallic in it. Sorry, I've got a little bit of a cold, so if I keep clearing my throat, I apologize. And back up, kind of show the front a little bit. You can see it's got the 2011 front end on it. And I know we've kind of covered most of this in the walk around video I did a little while ago, but I wanted to talk mainly about the paint today. When I bought this truck, it was a red V6 3-liter automatic, flare side, 1999 as I mentioned, and I want to do a frame off restoration on it and a color change, along with putting a V8 in it. Not going to talk a whole lot about the V8 today, that'll be another video, but mainly just wanted to kind of talk about the paint, since I did get a chance to clean it up and it looks better than it normally does. I bought the truck probably about 4 years ago. It was a 5-year project. The first year that I spent on the truck was mainly just kind of gathering the information and the parts that I needed and looking for a truck to purchase. And I did that, like I said, about 4 years ago. And that's when I decided to take it apart completely and rebuild it with all new parts. I started with taking the engine and driveline out, the suspension out, and eventually the frame out of the truck. Had the frame media blasted and painted it with 3 coats of epoxy primer, black epoxy primer, and then with the factory Ford chassis black after it was media blasted. Then put it all back together separately from the truck. While that was going on, I went ahead and started the body work on this truck. There was nothing but the cab sitting on cinder blocks, right here. Let me back up again so you kind of get an idea of what I mean by right here. A 12.5 by 26 foot slab of concrete. Open air, no walls, no ceiling. That's where all of this work was done except the exhaust. The exhaust did go into a shop in New Port Richey, but everything else except the exhaust, oh, and the machine work for the motor. The motor is actually assembled in that barn, but everything else was done right here on this slab of concrete in the open air, including the paint work. So getting back to the cab, I had stripped the cab down to nothing but the cab, the doors, and the front fenders. Hood was gone, bed was gone, frame was gone, everything completely empty engine compartment. I drilled guide pin holes actually, in the fenders and doors so I could remove the fenders and doors at will and then return them to the exact same position as I was working on the paint and body work. That kept the alignment in all the same places. By doing so, I could take the fenders and doors off and still return them to the same position. And I could sand and complete the body work with the fenders and doors attached to the cab. And that's important to try and get the body lines very close to each other between the fender and door and cab. You can wet sand or block sand across the gap where the transition is, and the end result is a reflection that carries across both panels nice and evenly when the job is done. After all the work was done on the sides of the truck, all the dents were filled. It was just minor door dings, but they were filled, block sanded. The entire truck was sanded down with 320 on a DA, and then hand sanded with 400 wet prior to painting. And let me go ahead and pop the hood real quick so we can talk about the engine compartment as it relates to the paint work. Okay, got the hood open. Like I said, not going to talk too much about the V8 in this video, but try and concentrate more on the paint work. While I was wet sanding and block sanding the sides of the truck to get it completely straight, everything was out of the engine compartment, including the frame, and I went ahead and sanded down the inside of the engine compartment and sprayed it body color to match. Everything was sprayed inside and out. When the fenders were off, the inner fender wells were sprayed both on the inside and the outside, and the header panel was done all body color. The inside of the fenders were done as well, and the floor pan. I had some dark shadow gray paint left over from my 03 Cobra that I painted right here on the same slab of concrete, and I went ahead and used it on the floor pan just because I didn't want to have to pay for the Tuxedo Black Metallic to spray under the truck.